All right, today we're going to go over 3 of the most underrated upper body exercises that you need to start doing. If you already do them more. Also, I'm wearing the hat today because I got PRP done, and if you thought my head was distracting before, looks like a damn bowl of mashed potatoes. It's awful. Oh, one more thing. Since you guys seem to love the story where I almost died at the hands of my own shit, at the very end, I'll tell you about the time that I overdosed on melanotan. Let's just say when you hear the warning on an ED commercial that says if your erection lasts longer than 4 hours, I would have welcomed 4 hours. So the first exercise is a coffin press, which I would imagine you've done before. But we're going to go over 3 different variations because I would bet that one of them you haven't, and you're going to have a great connection, you're going to fall in love. It's going to get weird. We're also going to go over different ways to tweak your form to get even more out of them. So starting out with the classic dumbbell version, you set yourself up on an incline, and there's really 2 ways to execute this. You can flare those elbows out to the side, push those dumbbells together, and feel like you're squeezing one of those disgusting but wonderful zip popping videos. Try to pop those dumbbells, or tuck those elbows into your side, drag them along your body on the way up, and drive those elbows in together. There's no right way. Sometimes I'll walk in the gym and think, that sucks today, let me try the other one. It flips. Your body's fucking weird. One of the biggest things, though, is you don't want to go too heavy. If you do, those anterior delts are going to jump in, so really focus on high rep sets, 20, 30 reps, because it's one of the best things you do for that inner part of your chest. It's one of the few times you're going to really contract and squeeze it, unless you're one of those guys that wear those wife beaters that show too much cleavage. You know what I'm talking about. So if you've ever watched Charles Glass train, he has a great coffin press variation he does on the Smith machine with all of his clients, which is phenomenal if you have friends. If you don't, you're probably going to choke yourself and die. And that's not how I'm going out. I'm going to go to Hometown Buffet and have 6 plates of dessert, shit myself, and die happy. But we can take that same concept and attachment over to the cables and get just as much benefit. 2 things though. 1, you want to face away because you want that tension pulling down and towards you. That way you can drive away so cables are behind you. Second thing is you want to do the variation where you're dragging along your body. You have a better connection. If you try to just flare those elbows out, it's too much delt. It won't work. And looks stupid. Now, normally I'd wear a tank top or something. You can see the inner part of my chest working so you know I'm not full of shit. But today I had a little bit of miscommunication with the massage therapist. When she asked me, have you ever done cupping before? And I said, yeah, like once or twice. It's neat. She must have heard, I want you to turn me into a purple polka dotted bitch. Probably thinking, it's not too bad. Oh, well, kind of looks like shit. Holy hell. You remember Barney, the big purple dinosaur? I imagine if he ever gave you a venereal disease, this is how it would look. Changing back. And the last variation of coffin presses is the one you're going to do with the landmine. Now, you can either do the standing or seated, but seated's probably the way to go because it's a little bit easier to manipulate your body. You can lean forward, put more emphasis on the top of your chest, lean back, drive that contraction lower. Also, this is going to be one you want to drag that arm around your body, drive those elbows in. You don't want to flare them out, so drive them in. You'll have more of a connection that way. If you haven't tried these are one of the best. I wonder how long I had shit on my nose. So the next exercise we're doing is for biceps, and we're actually doing it on the seated cable row. I'm always surprised that more people don't do biceps on here, to which I'm sure somebody's going to reply, it's because it's for back, asshole. Point taken. But regardless, there's some great variations you can do on here, one of which mimics a preacher curl because very few people can grab that preacher bench, drag it over to the cables, and do a preacher curl with the cable that way. So we can do the same thing with the seated cable row and use our legs as the preacher curl, and it's wonderful. And the second variation might even be better because it's going to ask those biceps to do even more work because those elbows are away from your body, so it puts more emphasis on the biceps to actually do the curl. And we're doing a drag curl. So you're going to lock those legs out, and you're going to pull straight towards your body, so on a straight line. The reason it doesn't pull into your lats is because you're stopping that elbow short. It's one straight line, and you can really overload with this one, which is nice. So you can move a significant amount of weight. It's also wonderful. I'm going to count that as 3. Some people are going to say it's 5. Dickheads will say it's 2. Averages out. So if you're not familiar with how melanotan works, basically it binds to receptors and your body actually produces more melanin, which was a pretty inviting proposition for me considering my body's translucent. I thought, it's not too many side effects I can see. Let's give it a go. Now, there's a whole process to it. You have to mix it and do all these things, and that particular day I was busy, which I'll get into the reason why later, but I didn't realize I was supposed to take 5. I ended up taking 50, 10 times the dose. And I didn't realize this right away. I was getting ready. All of a sudden, I started yawning uncontrollably, and then I had this really weird urge to stretch, and I started giggling like an asshole. Then it hit me. All of a sudden, I remember seeing how much I took and realizing this is not going to be good. I immediately started looking up the side effects, which didn't really apply because nobody takes 10 times the dose except me. Let me read them to you. Nausea, vomiting, loss of appetite, flushing of the face, yawning, involuntary stretching. Do you have any idea? It's actually the worst. You're basically walking, minding your own business, and your body stops you and you have to stretch your entire body and giggle like a schoolgirl. Oh, and spontaneous erections. That's the real fucked up one. Now, I wasn't overly worried like I was going to die, but I did have an event to go to later that day, and when you have an erection that gives zero fucks about what your plans are, it's trouble. I remember calling my wife from a department store changing room with 3 pairs of pants on trying to conceal it, which was not working, and she thought it was fucking hilarious. But this is where I started to get concerned, because when I went home, I saw the look on my wife's face, and she was visibly shaken. So much so that her first suggestion of what we should do to fix this is, why don't we put something in it and try to deflate it? What the fuck? It's not a rogue volleyball at a college football game. We're going to need this thing. So after 4 hours and nothing got better, I just said, screw it. I'm going to throw on my 3 pairs of pants and go to this event. What's this event, you ask? Well, one of my last in-person clients and one of my great friends asked me, hey, can you please shoot my wedding? Take video, photography. Can you do that for me? And I said, normally that's not something I don't even want to, but for you, I'd be honored. Until that day, I showed up with a raging boner, giggling like crazy, could barely walk, randomly stretching, to the Hunger Games of all gay weddings. Needless to say, all the pictures were cockeyed. Also, I'm going to start posting every Sunday and Tuesday at 9 a.m. Don't ask me why, that's just when you fucking people are online. Also, this Tuesday at 9 a.m., the full gym program is going to come out. If you haven't checked out the garage program yet, I'll link to that below as well. Most importantly, get fucking after it.